Most real estate agents struggle with lead generation. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 things that I changed in my business from 2022 and 2023 to now in 2026. My name is Adela. I'm a real estate agent here in Southeast Florida. In 2024, I did $101,230 GCI. And in 2025, I did $408,000 GCI. I do not have a team. I'm a solo agent, solopreneur. I don't have employees or anything like that, but I'm going to share my screen with you to show you what I did then and what I'm doing now. All right, so the first thing is cold calling. Yes, I have cold called. I actually started the journey in 2022, but the difference from then and 2023 is that I actually used to call FSBOs, expireds. I actually did dabble in FSBOs, probate. I am technically probate certified. Canceled. Anything you can pretty much think of, I did. And the biggest problem, and if you've tried it, you'll know that even though they are low-hanging fruit, almost all the realtors going that cold call are going after them. So it's really like shark eat shark world. It's very competitive and it can be very difficult when you're new as well. For me personally, now in 2026, I circle prospect, and this has been amazing because I was able to build up my pipeline. I actually started that in November of 2023. I completely went cold turkey. I got rid of all my systems, all my processes. I got rid of everything that I had for the most part learned, and was just focusing on circle prospecting. It was my last Hail Mary. It was like, if this doesn't work, that I'm literally going to have to go get a 9-to-5 job. But thankfully, circle prospecting did take off, and it's really what is our foundation, our base. It's really how I pay bills for our family. Now, the second thing is, I would say, having employees, or I guess subcontractors, if you want to say it. I did because, of course, as they say, whatever works for you, double down on it. And therefore, I was thinking of ISAs, but at the same time, I actually did do ISAs in 2023. I had ISAs. I actually had 5 different ones. I did ISAs. I want to say it was about July of 2022 when I first started. And then I had, let me think here. No, it was 2023 because then the last day I had my ISA was June of 2024, and I did it for a year and a half. So it was all of 2023 and half of 2024 I had an ISA. And I know some people think that they're a VA. An ISA is actually an inside sales agent. So I was thinking at the time, calling FSBOs and expireds and getting some listings. I thought, well, let me fail faster. Let me hire other people who can cold call. So then there's like 2 of us cold calling. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. The biggest reason is like I was babysitting adults, which was a bit strange for me. It's not my cup of tea, and I do not want to have ISAs or VAs. The biggest difference from then is I actually focused on having a transaction coordinator. That has been a blessing because, number one, over here, you're paying them hourly. You're paying them weekly, every 2 weeks, whatever you have. And of course you have bonuses, which I had a lot of bonuses. I had a lot of amazing things to inspire them to get money now. I even had like a commission split with them, like a bonus once I would close a deal, but I never did. The transaction quarter is great because even though that is money, you don't pay until you close. And the transaction coordinator that I have, she knows more than me. I've never had to train her, which if you've ever read Ben Hardy and Dan Sullivan's book, I forget if it's the Who Not How. You should not hire someone and train them. They should already be trained. They should know what to do. You literally just hire them and input them in your business, and they just take off. That's the type of employment that you want to have. So the transaction quarter has been amazing. Number 3 is, ads, of course. So when I did ads, I actually had a third party company doing it. And if you've ever looked into ads, usually they take anywhere from 30% to 50%. At least that's when I was doing it. I don't know if it's changed. I know the whole agency and marketing companies are changing as a whole, like that whole industry. But at the time, I remember spending about $1,000 a month. And the cheapest I could get was about 30%, because there was one, they were like, you pay 500, we keep 50. So we only really put $250 towards your budget of actually spending. So in this case, they took 300 and they would only put $700 towards actual ads. But in this case, now that, I spent all of 2025 studying ads. Now my husband and I are experimenting. We actually did an experiment for about a week. It was $5 a day. It was really good. It was really simple. It was very nerve-wracking, actually, just to finally get to that point where we finally pulled the trigger and set it up. But now we're at a point where we streamlined it even further and we upped it to $10 a day. So in this case, now we're at $300 a day. And I know we have a lot of experimenting and testing to still go through, but I'm very confident with everything that we're doing. And then the last one is, oh my gosh, YouTube. Okay, so give me one moment here. All right, sorry about that. So the fourth one is YouTube. Okay, so I actually had started off with a living in channel. If any of you have a living in channel, I highly recommend start being very knowledgeable about your analytics. When I looked at my analytics, when I finally became aware of how to really read my analytics, YouTube actually thought I was a travel vlogger. I was so livid when I figured that out. I was like, wait a minute, YouTube actually doesn't even know I'm in real estate, doesn't even know that I'm in Fort Lauderdale. And it was suggesting that I actually do 4K drive around videos. It was the strangest thing ever. So what I actually ended up changing it to were full on walkthrough listing videos. So if you ever go to my regular channel, you can always look it up by my first and last name. It is more now a marketing tool. So this actually sets me apart compared to other realtors, whereas I'm really just more a marketer. You guys are going to have to forgive me. This is the first time I actually even write on this iPad. iPad is very new to me. I would say, so from cold calling, this was actually more time. This is more money. This is money. And this is time. Now, when it came to this one, it was a lot of time trying to come up with ideas and researching and like what to say. Whereas this one has been way easier for my husband and I because we've gotten really streamlined. He's the one that records me now. And then with the ads, going from like 700 and we're ramping up to 300. The difference is this is literally excuse me. There we go. Still learning. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. This is, if I can do this right, this is 100%. So I know 100% of the money that I spent on ads is going towards this. And it's amazing because we're already getting leads. And then this one, the money, the fact that I pay her at close is amazing. And then this one, the fact that I've actually been able to build my own pipeline is amazing. Now, I will say going from 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot of like all of this, and I've said this to my students in my coaching group, is none of this, 2, 3, 4 does not exist without this. So if you want to figure out how to cold call, how to circle prospect, I did do a video for you guys. You can go ahead and watch right here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.